Hey, what's going on, guys? So in this episode, we're going to be going through things like health bars, death screens, and we will also be going to new levels. So we'll set up a checkpoint where when you interact with that, you'll be able to go to the new level. Okay, guys. So first, let's do the health bar. So what we need to do is we're going to add another sprite, and also, so just actually before we start, if you're on the free version, you might need to tweak a few of these events just to make sure you have space. So what I would do is also maybe remove one of these enemies for now, and just go through here and just see what you actually need in your project. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to insert a new sprite, and what we'll do is we will just pick a color, and we're going to so we'll make this one red, like this. We're going to lock the tile set for now, and we're going to call this, so we'll call this health bar underscore front. So this is going to be the front piece that will actually go up and down based on your health. But then we also want to also make sure this is on the background layer, and then we want to clone this object. We want to hold shift so it pastes it in the same place, and we will just call this one health bar back. I'm going to open this up, and then just make this whatever colour you want for the background colour. So I'm going to make mine a nice dark blue colour, like this. We can right click that, Z order, and we can send to the bottom of the layer. So if we select this front one, so you can imagine as we go down, so that this is how it would look. So what we can do now is we can just drag this out, and we just want to make this whatever size you want for the health bar. Now I'll also add, so if you look on your screen and you'll see this dotted line here, so basically this is your screen size. And so for the background layer, which we'll check right now, is we want to make sure, so we want to go to parallax, and we want to make the parallax 0 by 0. Now what this means is this will never move. So now if I hit play, and you'll see the health bar here, as we can see, this is now just going to follow us. So that's how you create your UI, your HUD. So you make sure there's no parallax, and that will just stay with you no matter if you know, so if we're hit all the way over here, it will still stay up in this screen. So anyways, what we can then do is we can delete this health text now as well. We won't need that anymore. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we just want to check what the width is on this health bar. And once you're happy, so make sure you're happy with the size of the health bar. So the width here we have 300, so I'm just going to round this off, so we're going to go 350. And so we just need to keep that number in mind. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the event sheet, and now we could create a function for this. So what you can do is, so we want to reduce the health bar when you take damage, right? Now what you can do is, so you could just clone this event for every different thing. So for example, if an enemy hits you, you can affect the health bar, or when a spike hits you, you can affect the health bar. Or what we could do is we could go in here and we can add a function, and we could call this damage. And then what we can do is we can put in the same effect. Basically, it allows you just to call an action instead of constantly pasting out the same thing. You could have one function that you can just refer to. So this is empty for now, but what we could do is, so just to show you how it works, is, so let's say enemy 1 hits, so let's just find the damage. So here, so we've got the enemy here. So what we can do is we can go add action, function, and then we can call function right here. So at the bottom, function, it shows you functions, damage. So this is just to show you, so on collision with the enemy, it would call damage, so and then it would run here a list of different things. So what we could do for that is, so we can delete the text there as well, and so we could paste this in here, and we could actually just delete everything. So instead we would have it so when you collide with the enemy, it will then recall this function. So next, now what we can do is in this function, we can go to actions, we can select health bar front, we can search set width, and then in brackets we want to put player, oh no, sorry, character dot health, and we want to put slash for divided by, so we want to divide this by, and then so we want to divide the max health. So this is the max health, right? This is the variable. So this is the health, and we want to divide that by the max health, which is 100, and then we will times that. So you do the little star, and we want to times that by the width. So like we said, it was 350 for the health bar. So now we're setting the health bar to the health divided by the max health times by the health bar size. So what this will do is this will then update every time the health bar size. It will set the width to the what remaining health. And now what's great about this is we can now just constantly call this function. Okay, great, so let's test this, and if it works correctly, the health bar should now update. So as you can see, we've got the health bar, we land on the spike, and as you can see, this has now gone to halfway. Now we'll fix that in a second, how it's going to the middle. But there we go, so then you've got no health. So what we need to do is, we just need to adjust the start point. So the origin point here, we need to just use the arrow keys, and we just want to take this all the way to the left. And to align this back up, so again we could select both of these. We can align, edges, left. Let's just make sure that works. Okay, great. So as you can see, the health bar now updates properly. So next, let's do a kill screen real quick. I'll just show you how that's done. So again, on the background layer, we can create a new object. We'll create this a sprite, and then just make this whatever color you like. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same color I used for the background of the health bar, but I'm going to change the alpha down here, which is opacity, to, oh no, that's too light, we'll go 150. Select this, and I'm just going to drag this over like so, and we can just call this background screen, something like that. And then what we want to do is we want to check initially visible, so it's not visible. And then when we go back to here, we want to, so we can re-enable this here where when the health is 0 restart layout, but we want to disable restart layout for now. And then we can select background screen, and we can set visible. So far all we've got is we've just got it so that when your health is 0, it will make that background screen visible. But then what we can also add is we can then add another button. So this again, there are built-in buttons in this engine. So you could use a button if you like, but I do prefer using a sprite, because if it comes to creating your assets and things like that, it looks much better just having two separate sprites. When you click it, it just updates and looks like it's pressed in. The buttons work, but they don't have as much creativity, or there is an option to use CSS, but again, if you're not experienced in that, then there's really no need. Anyways, just pick whatever color you like. I'll just pick a random color, and then so we've got a button here. And for the sake of this video, I'm just going to do this, and I will just. We can set the brush down. I'm just going to write restart on the thing. Or either way though, yeah. So I'm not even going to do that. We can just. This is the restart button, right? And you'd write restart. You could go make an actual button. I might make a UI pack soon, and then I'll release that for free once I've done that. I'm getting back into it again. I'm starting to feel a bit better. But anyway, so we'll call this button underscore restart. Again, we'll make that not initially visible, and then here we'll set this button set visible. So when the health is zero, we're now going to set the button and the background to visible. We're also going to want to pause the character in place, because if we're not restarting it straight away, then we want to freeze the screen. So what we could do is we could also just, instead we could just go on, so we go on system, set timescale, and just set it to 0. Now this isn't going, so we'll just test this for a second. So as you can see, we don't see it. When the health is gone, now it pauses the game, and we can see the background, and we can see this. Now what we actually need to do is we need to put this background on the main layer, actually, and we'll just set this to fill the whole area. Now what you could do as well is, once this works, I would probably just remove this for now. For now, actually, I'm just going to delete the background screen. I don't need it. Keep it if you like. So originally what I would do is, but I believe it requires extra layers, is I would put that on front and then have the buttons on top of that. So it would work actually if you just put it on the front. Alright guys, and then just quickly what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another function. And again, this is just to keep things organized in a way as well. So like, what we can do is, so instead of just having character health is less than 0, and then just having the lists here, we could have another function, which is, I don't know, call it endgame. So we've got an endgame function, and then we can just call that. And then instead what we can do is we can then put all the different things inside that. So when the health is less than 0, end the game, and then we can go here. And this just keeps it nice and organized. And again, if we then want to have other reasons why you might end the game, it's just there, then you can just call it. And it's just a good practice to have anyways. It's much better practice to use functions. Because as your project starts scaling up, if you start working on more complex projects, you'll find that you need to use functions a lot more. Okay, great. And then what we want to do is, so we can add another event, and then we're going to search, we can choose the mouse, and we're going to put on object clicked. So on object clicked, left clicked, right click, whatever you want. And then once we've clicked, we're going to select the button, restart button, on button clicked, and then we can go to, so what we can do is we can copy this up here, system, restart layout. Or if you don't have that, it's just in here, you go system and just search restart layout, like so. So when we click that button, it should restart the layout. And at the same time as well, what we would do is, so we have here end game, set visible, set time. So what we could also do is we could have a start game. And then by that we could toggle these to be invisible again. And we can set the time scale back. And this is just to stop it from, when we restart the layout, these are still in effect. So what we can do is we want to rename this. Edit function. Start game. Anyways, we'll just call that function anyways. Start game. And yeah, so let's just test this. So here we go, got this health bar. Goes to half, full. Pause the game, you can't do anything. Health is gone. Click the button, restart. So great. Awesome, so that works just as intended. So we've now got a health bar, we've got a death screen, and when you click the restart button, restarts layout. Okay, next let's make it so that you can go to a new level. So to do this, we need a sprite. We can just fill this in with some colour. Like this. And I will just call this, I'm going to call this Portal. Okay, so once we've got this sprite here, we need to go over to layouts and we can add a new layout. What we could do is we could clone this layout. Just so we've already got this set up. And then so as we can see, we have two layouts now. So all we need to do is we need to go to the main event sheet, add an event, and we can search character, on collision with an object, portal, and then we go to system, layout, and we're just going to go to layout. Now another thing that we can do is, so when you want to have multiple different layouts, so we could go to layout by name. So here what we could do is, we could search, so in quotation marks we could have level. So let's say it's level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's how we're doing it. We could have level in quotation marks, and then we can use the and symbol. So we have level and then what we could do is we could have portal, And we need to add a variable for this, but so we'll keep it like this for now. So we'll do level. And then in here we can add an instance variable. And we'll call this level. Or we'll just call this number. And the initial value can be 1. Oh, actually, no, this initial value should be 2. And we can head back here and we can go to level, in quotes, and then portal dot number. So now what this does is, so when you interact with the portal, what you can do is, so for each level, so on this level it's number 2, and then on the next level you could just go into the instance variable and just change that to 3. So you'd come into level 2, and you would set this, and you would make this number 3. And now what that does is, so for every level, it will then take you to the next one based on that. So like here it says go to level and then the portal number. So if on level 1 you interact with this portal, that's got number 2, so it's going to take you to level 2. That's so. Now we just need to make sure it's spelt right, so we'll have to remove the spaces. And now that should work. So if we go here and we test this, interact with this, and there you go, it goes to level 2. Now that's just what I've just showed you there, that's a much better way of making it so that now that system works, you know. So for every level now you've got a way to go to the next level. And then you could make that a nice little portal sprite or something like that. You could have particles, so again like in the previous tutorial you could have particles coming off of it, things like that. And there's also a cool effect, like there's a warp effect, so you could even add, you could have warp ripple or something like that. And as you can see, that's a cool way to just get some effect going. Okay, great, so that's it for this episode, guys. I don't want to do too much in each video. And yeah, hopefully that's helped. I hope you're enjoying the series so far, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.